Good morning, everybody, or what's left of it. 11:30 a.m. As you can tell, I'm still having problems with my camera. Can't figure that mess out. Don't know what's up with that. And it's getting on my last nerve. But today I want to talk about sleep paralysis. Talk a little bit about that anyway. Um, let's see. Move this over here. What's up, Rick? I want to bring something up here. No, that's not it. I don't think. No, that's not it. Sleep paralysis. Did you see anything? Hey, Rich, how you doing? Hey, Sandra. Good morning. Maggie, good morning. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to pull something up here. Uh, all right. Good late morning to you too, Rich. Ida, how you doing? Hope everybody's having a good day so far. Move this over a little here. Oh, come on. I think it's about time to upgrade my PC. Starting to act like a little bitch. Pardon my French. Pyro, what's up? Thanks, Richie. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. We're getting along okay. It's just dealing with her loss, you know. Yeah, I know she's in a better place, much better place. Yeah, the hamsters do need replacement. So, it's 11:30 a.m. here, so I can still say it's morning. um, I was going to do 11 a.m., but I was having technical issues, so I pushed it back to 11:30. I think 11 is a good time for me. It's not too intrusive on my afternoon, and hopefully not for y'all either. And maybe we can dive right into it. So I know this fella who, while he was in the military, he has had one incident with sleep paralysis, and he told me about it. And it was quite damn frightening. Um, Hold on just a second. I'm glad to hear he's doing all right. I'm glad I made it through it. I've heard a lot of stories about the sleep paralysis, and everybody wants to maintain the fact that it's some type of medical condition, that it's all treatable by treating your sleep apnea and whatnot. That's what it's normally triggered by. That's what they say anyway. Um, but I believe there's, just me personally, I think there's more to it. I mean, granted, yeah, I believe there's the medical side to it, and it's just like hauntings or demonic oppression or possession. There are signs that need to be investigated. I think when you have one guy who had a issue with sleep paralysis and turn around and talks to another guy who's had sleep paralysis, and they pretty much have witnessed the same damn thing, then I think that needs to be investigated a little bit. Let me guess, Eric, you called out the name of Jesus? Let's see. I don't guess anybody's seen Harry Potter, have you? If you have, you may be familiar with these creatures they have in it. They call the Mentors. Um, one fella mentioned something that came after him right after meditation, and this is not just a story. I mean, this is coming from my friend who's got who's had experience himself. It says my most recent experience was during meditation right before going to bed, and saw something above me trying to suck my soul like a dementor from Harry Potter. And my buddy says that happened to me in my barracks. Sleep paralysis demon. Yes, was it on your chest? Said, yeah, like a mist, slight light was coming from my chest and felt like my lungs wouldn't breathe. And my friend says, yeah, that's crazy. It happened to me too. Dude, exactly like someone was pressing down on you, and every time you tried to breathe or talk, more air would be pressed out. Let's see. So my buddy asked this question. It says it's common, which makes it even weirder. Like, how does everyone that experiences that have the same exact story? Makes it more real because it's consistent across different minds. That lends credence to the collective consciousness, and it's also to me it's the same thing where you hear of people who have taken trips on DMT, and the DMT trip, a lot of people, most people experience the exact same realm. They don't have the exact same trip, but they see a lot of the same things. It's like it's an actual different realm. So the power of the mind's a very powerful thing. And I think it's something we lack a lot of knowledge of and have a lot of hidden potential. The old boy said it has, let's see, he says makes it more real because it consists across different minds. So it's a being within itself. And my buddy was talking to his friend. He says, "Yeah, I know." Then the next day, went to wake my son up from a nap, and he did the exact same stuff I did the night before. I grabbed him and told him not to look at it. This is daddy. You have to listen to daddy's voice. Follow daddy's voice. It's crazy. Wow. Humankind is full of hubris, ignorance, and just ego. We think we know everything, especially people in the medical profession who are, I don't know, who are trying to make a name for themselves. You slipping there crying. I bet. See, I've heard of that too. Let's see. Scientists will always try to have an explanation for everything, no matter how flimsy. Yes. Yeah, you're right. Wow. That sucks. Yeah, they've got a quote logical unquote explanation for everything. Some of it makes sense. Some people do have a legitimate, you know, um, some people have a legitimate medical condition that can cause things like this. There's a big gray area, then people just tend to ignore. I mean, it's mental illness and spiritual possession, whether it be by, what most would consider a demon or something else. There's a gray area there, and it's hard to tell from what I'm understanding. Anyway, I'm no expert. I'm just spouting off what I've been told and what I've learned. According to this document here, although we do not know exactly the exact cause, scientists hypothesize that hallucinations on the edges of sleep result from dreamlike sensations continuing into waking life. As a person drifts off to sleep, their body begins to cycle through two types of sleep: rapid eye movement, REM sleep, and non rapid eye movement, NREM sleep. During REM sleep, there's a heightened level of activity in the brain, and breathing, blood pressure, and heart rate increase. This is all the type of sleep characterized by rich and detailed dreams and nightmares. Paradoxically, during REM sleep, the body enters a state of temporary paralysis called muscle atonia. This state is likely a mechanism to prevent sleepers from injuring themselves by acting out their dreams. In sleep paralysis, the lines between sleep and wakefulness become blurred as a person is at the edge of waking up or falling asleep as they become aware of their surroundings, while their muscle paralysis continues for a few seconds to several minutes. This means that they can think, see, and breathe while they lie awake but are unable to move their body. Now, thinking about this, I remember my ex-wife telling me she had an episode where she was pinned down in the bed, and this is after we'd separated. She was living in a motel by herself, and or actually, she'd got an apartment by that time. Yeah, and I remember she told me that there was something on her chest, and she couldn't breathe. So that knocks that shit out. That being able to breathe. Now, I've heard the other side of the story. I've heard the other side of the story, and I can see where it can relate. Yeah, if you can stomach it, have just for I watch it on an academic basis. Not that I'm so much entertained by it, but I'm interested to see in what conclusions they draw. And this show that was on CBS, it's on Paramount now, I think. Oh, wait a minute. No. Yeah, yeah, actually I do believe it's on Paramount. And it's called Evil. This name of the show is called Evil. And it by all accounts I do believe it is. But it does draw that parallel to what we're talking about, and how that's such a thin line between psychosis and possession, or if the psychosis is brought on by possession. Um, Sleep paralysis is not a joke. That's a scary damn thing. I'm not sure if I've ever experienced it. I'm sure I would remember if I had. Oh, you saw it, Rick? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's on Paramount now, I think. But yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot about that show that's that gives me that creepy, oily feeling. And I don't normally get that from shows, but I think because it's actually basing their references on reality and actual true cases, that I don't believe they're going to announce that they do, but just seeing how they operate, seeing how they draw their conclusions, and everything I've read, I think that it's based on a lot of true factual stuff. Yeah, that's terrifying, man. Yep. So, narcolepsy, um, idiopathic hypersomnia. That's when a person has excessive tiredness and that cannot be explained by an underlying cause. They may be diagnosed with idiopathic hypersomnia. Although studies have shown conflict results, some researchers believe that a yet unknown subgroup of people with idiopathic hypersomnia have a heightened risk of sleep paralysis. Obstructive sleep apnea, OSA, is a sleep related breathing disorder caused by blockages in the airway. As many as 38% of people with OSA report episodes of sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis appears to be most common in people with OSA who also experience significant daytime sleepiness. Shit. I'm screwed then. And they go into in depth um, to give you guys, let you guys know what my reference is from the Sleep Foundation, uh, uh, sleepfoundation.org on sleep demon. That's what it's called. This is from this year, actually, just last month. This article is. Oh my God. That's rough. You had Alien versus Predator on the brain, didn't you, Brandon? Okay, it goes into cultural depictions of sleep demons. While modern scientists consider sleep demons to be hallucinations, this is not the first or only interpretation of this sleep phenomena. Societies throughout history have developed their own explanation for these experiences, each stemming from a unique cultural context. Lilitu, some of the earliest writing related to sleep paralysis comes from Mesopotamia around 2400 BC. These accounts refer to Lilitu, a female demon. Researchers believe that it is from this early folklore that the concepts of incubus, succubus, and the nightmare descended. The nightmare In Europe during the Middle Ages, the term nightmare referred to a supernatural entity, typically female, that positioned herself on top of a person's chest to suffocate them. Medical explanations up to the 20th century suggested that a nightmare was caused by stagnant blood or vapors rising from the stomach and affecting the nervous system. The Ogrog, the old hag phenomena, also called Ogrog, was described by residents of Newfoundland in the 1970s. Believers attribute paralysis, pressure on the chest, and other symptoms that blood that has stagnated, excessive work, or an enemy who wants to harm the sleeper. And there's a Paisidaria, a Brazilian folklore. Paisidaria is an old woman who lies in wait on roofs and walks on the chest of people who sleep on their backs with a full stomach. This this character takes on slightly different forms and features in different parts of the country. The Kanashibari in Japan, the Jinn in Egypt, um, Kamak Sangat in Cambodia. The list goes on there. Um, but what happens when? How do you explain it? Lots of people have these bouts of sleep paralysis. Once they have it again and again if they have some type of, you know, medical condition. Yeah, that's pretty much a blanket term for, the everything there in the Middle East. Every country there in the Middle East, Iraq, Iran. Spiritual warfare is real. We're constantly in spiritual warfare, whether people like to admit that or not. I hear you. See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, people know the difference. And it's a very traumatic experience for a lot of these people. It's crazy. Mm. This happened to the story I was telling you earlier about my buddy and his friend talking back and forth. When it happened to him, it happened in 2013 when he was in basic or just come out of basic. I think he was going through tech school at the time. 2013. Um, he was in Florida. I'm pretty sure this is where he was stationed at. He was in the Marines. Yeah, you got to keep your frequency high. If you've got a high vibrational resonance, you're more likely to keep things repelled from you. Things of a lower frequency nature. You know, you've got that power. The Creator's given it to us. We need to learn how to use it, embrace it. Rick, you a Jedi man? Not poking fun. You're right about this. Sometimes you don't recognize spiritual warfare until it's mid happening. Yeah. Yep. True, true, true. There's a lot that's been done in dreams. Love you too, Marty. Thank you. And I will. We got to get together and collaborate. Been talking to Daniela too. Um, hopefully next week. Um, I'll be co-hosting with her on Bigfoot Odyssey, like on Saturdays for a little while. Till I don't know how long it will be, but it's like right now it's like every other Saturday I'm going to be helping her out. So you guys will be able to see me there too. Ta-da! Well, maybe not see me unless I can get my damn camera fixed. I don't know what the problem here is. I really don't know. I'm thinking about it. Plug this. See if this will work. Nope. Nope. Oh, gotta love that. That's funny. Judy, hey, good morning. Hey, wait a minute. It's a sip of coffee for everybody. I don't know if this will work or not. Yeah, I think my camera's done. I do. That sucks. They ain't cheap. I was Baptist and I was Pentecostal holiness. And I don't know what I am. Sooner be one as it is the other. Let's see. But sleep paralysis is a real thing, man. I'm hard pressed to find anything else on it. I've been scouring the internet, and it's like they've scrubbed it. If there's any supernatural explanation for it, they they've got some type of schmuck with letters after their name wanting to poo poo all over it, like they know. I hear you. I got some of that stuff to do too. I got some clothes to wash and fold, floors to sweep, vacuum, and mop. As much crap as I've seen in my lifetime, it's a thousand wonders I haven't, I don't know, had that sleep paralysis. TRT World. It's 27th of October 2020. Sleep paralysis, a brain glitch, or an evil spirit. Some say it's the jinns and monsters harassing you in the night. Some say it's a health condition. We speak to the world's leading experts on this mysterious phenomena. And then they go on and on. She says TLDR, man. I gotta break this one down. I might save these couple articles for another episode. Maybe we'll continue a little bit this tomorrow. I don't know. You got grandbabies running around. Well, you got your hands full then. Oop. Good to see you, Marty. Good to see everybody here. How you doing, Bat Mom? Seems to work out okay. Y'all like this new schedule? Instead of me being on for like 3 hours and up into the middle of the night, people holding their eyes open. Would you get on with it or just shut up? I got a tendency to do that. And sleep paralysis is something I don't. I feel you. I feel you. Surviving's about all we can do now. Try and take every day as as it comes, and I don't know, try to be a glass half full type of person. As hard as that is, I used to be the exact opposite. I'm trying to break that habit, trying to promote that, that positive vibration, right? Keep my vibrational frequency up. Be, spiritually attuned. I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do. I think I like it too. I think it's a lot better. I think when I'm gonna dive a little deeper into this sleep paralysis thing, and this is something like I just really started touching on, and looked up some stuff. I figured you guys might know a little about it too. I Yeah, I've never had it either. But I've known a couple people who have. Eric's had it. Pyro's had it. I know, right? The midnight chats. I might throw one out there from time to time. Depends on how things go. If I can keep this rocking steady Monday through Thursday, then yeah, maybe we can throw in an evening show too. I'm gonna try to get out in the field and do some videos back out in the field and post them up too. Yes, indeed, they are. But I'm trying to find both sides to this argument here. And I do believe there are two sides to it. I believe there's a scientific, um, medical explanation to some of it. I really do. But I also believe that there's also something deeper, something more sinister behind some of these accounts. Some people have it, and you'll have a couple people who say they have experienced almost exactly the same thing. The fear can be explained to a certain degree, but when you break it down to the type of fear they're having, is it just because of the fact that they're awake and can't move? That's that anxious fear that comes from, not being in control. But when you feel like you're under some type of sinister demonic attack, when you've got some creature that has, by all intents and purposes, freaking it paralyzed you and is sitting on your chest and gloating about the fact that they're sucking the life out of you, yeah, that's a different type of fear. And when you talk about these people who have that, this the paralysis demon, now, a lot of these articles are belittling this, but I think they're wrong. And I get that same feeling that you get just reading these articles. I get the same feeling from these articles as if, I'm telling my Bigfoot story and somebody starts giggling and trying to explain it to me and tell me what I heard was a bear or a coyote or a bobcat. It runs all over me. So I mean, people like us who have had experiences, we are all experiencers of some form or fashion. We know that there's something out there. There's something behind the veil. There's something watching us that we can't see. There's something interacting with us that we cannot see, touch, or smell unless it wants us to. Exactly. And it's hard to that right there is hard to explain to some people. Cognitive dissonance takes hold, and if it's not fitting within their paradigm, if if their vision of reality it's not suited to your explanation, then it couldn't happen that way. I think that goes with, your typical Bigfoot encounter, your ghost encounter, your UFO encounter. It just it just pisses me off. It really does. It really does. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, has anyone put together who it is or what they have experienced before they have sleep paralysis? As in, does it happen when the person has done something bad or was there trauma prior? I'm thought about that too. My buddy was in basic when this happened. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It was my nephew. All right, I'll just come out and tell you that was my nephew. Y'all probably seen him on here a time or two. I've had him on here. He had that bout of sleep paralysis. He was going through basic can be kind of rough. He had not been long out of getting graduating from basic training, and at the end of um, Marine boot camp, you've got to go through the crucible, and the crucible is, I mean, it lives up to its name. So it's possible. It's possible that he had some type of lingering trauma, maybe. But that brings down your spiritual, uh, your frequency, your resonating frequency. Low frequencies are susceptible to bad shit, right? Yeah. And Judy, these naysayers and these groups are usually in groups that are supposedly um you're researching something that's along those lines and have been researching something along those lines for many years and have brought absolutely nothing to the table worth note. Exactly. The lower your vibrational level, the more susceptible you are to this type of phenomena. That's why when focus on your faith, most people focus on their faith, call out in the name of Jesus. They do that. There's that feeling of comfort. There's that feeling of hope. And what is hope? Hope is light. Hope is uh, um, uh, strength. It's a new strength that you find there, right? That is supposedly the Holy Spirit, which dwells within us. What does the scripture say? He that is in us is greater than he that is in the world, right? So it's a power that's given to us. Yeah. 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 No, right? There's I've talked to a few people that still don't believe in that. You know, they still believe in his, hope and change and all that crap. Yeah, there was change, all right. Um, yeah, all on top of it. I do too, and I don't understand how they make it through life. I really don't. They claim they don't believe anything, but there's something they believe in. There has to be something they believe in. You know, I just, I just can't. I just can't put that in perspective. I really can't. How you could absolutely believe in nothing. And very well could be. It's how some people are more susceptible to paranormal activity, or have or more likely to have a cryptid sighting or UFO sighting. I hear you. I hear you. It's like that old Poison song. Give me something to believe in. Something to believe in. Give me something to believe in. Somebody's got to have belief in something. That's good and sad at the same time, bro. Living in what the hell land. Clown world, absolutely. Yeah. But getting back to the subject at hand, I mean, there's more to it than science wants to admit to. Um, I was listening yesterday to Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson. They were on the Joe Rogan podcast again, and they were talking about the new Netflix show that Graham has, and it is called The Ancient Apocalypse. And it's amazing that he actually was able to make it for for Netflix. And Netflix allowed it. And he's getting people out there in academia saying that Netflix needs to take it down, not to let anybody see it. But the fact of the matter is, all of his theories have been proven true. Academia, for whatever reason, whether it's some type of monetary gain or whatever, um, has they've tamped him down, and anyone like him who wants to come forward with truth that says that civilization has been around a hell of a lot longer than what they think, and there's more to us than people would like to suggest. The name of the show is Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix. There's just 8 episodes to it. I believe each episode is like averaging about 30 minutes long. And I watched the first episode. I'm trying to drag it out because I'm actually trying to actually study it. I mean, I love Graham. Graham Hancock is great. And it's usually people who are talking him down, putting him down, who are the people who don't like him I think they've got something to hide. Thanks, Batman, for coming by. Appreciate you. Love you, mean it. See you next time. Good Lord willing, I'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, you're right. Academia doesn't look at anything spiritual anymore. There's got to be some correlation. You've the spiritual. We've severed. Well, civilization has severed their tie to the spiritual. They don't give a damn about what's around them. The earth, anything about their environment, anything about their fellow human beings, anything about the creatures who dwell on this earth. Most people are so self-centered and just don't give a care, really. That's sad. On the other hand, I totally believe there's God. There's evidence. There's evidence in everything that there's a consciousness and thought in everything. I mean, even atoms decide what they're going to do, what form they're going to take. It's crazy, huh? Oh, I see that. Yeah, and the people who say that animals don't have souls, I'm like, yeah, just take a step back from me, please, because I see how they act toward one another and how they are toward other species when there's a calmer environment and they're not running on base instinct. So, I mean, I think like we've said before, in this show, that everything is connected. I believe everything is connected in some form or fashion. Due to universal consciousness, we are all affected in some form or another. And this whole sleep paralysis thing is bugging the crap out of me. In my soul, if you will, I believe there's more to it than what these articles are saying. I mean, I get it. I can sit back and I see the logic to a certain degree, but when you're of the material world and that's all you have to base on, your view is limited. You're walking around with blinders on. So, yep. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Um, it's been great. It is 12:30 in the afternoon. Um, I thank every last one of you for stopping by. This is fantastic. I didn't think this would amount to much, but I think this is better than my night show. I really do. Um, I might have to have a special night show for guests. I'm hoping to maybe have a guest or two on to talk, or just sit around and shoot the breeze about whatever. Um, I'm thinking about trying to get a hold of Max and see if he'll come back on here. You guys like Max, don't you? Max Powers, Bigfoot Hunter. I love that title. It's great. Nice hanging with you too, Rick. It's been great. You see, I still call you Rick from time to time. Old habits die hard, buddy. Sandra, Maggie, Judy, Eric. Thanks, guys, for coming by. Thanks, Brandon, Pyromedic. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with me for a spell. We're gonna try and make this a weekly thing, 4 days out the week, if y'all can stomach me. Yes, indeed. Likeness. I love it. All right, I'm going to jump off of here. I want to thank every one of you again for coming by. And tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Hopefully, it'll be gone about 11 instead of 11:30. So that will be hopefully my new start time, and that will be set in stone. Like I said, I want to push that. I pushed it back to 11:30 because I'm having technical difficulties, and it seems like I'm going to have that for a little bit. So I'm just going to stick with what I've got. I love y'all, and until next time, y'all keep her between the ditches, and I love you, mean it. Bye, y'all.